friends, welcome or welcome back to the Infinite Library, and today we're going to be talking about the books that I'm planning to read in the month of July. So I am finally getting my bestie to pick my TBR for this month. But that doesn't mean I don't already have other books that I also have to read this month. So I'm very excited to see what my friend is going to pick for me. We have fairly similar tastes in terms of the books that we read, and basically, yeah, I am letting her pick from my TBR bookshelf over there. This is all that bookshelf at the end there, and at the top is like all the books I have yet to read on my physical TBR. And I'm giving her full license just to go through and pick out 3 or 4 books for me, and she's going to be picking from my TBR jar as well. I actually added a few items to this because I realized I'm not focusing on my 12 racks that 12 friends gave me from last year, and I do really want to read those, so I've actually gone and added them in here now as well. So this does mean there is now more than will take me to the end of the year, but that's fine because they are books I still really want to read, and I feel like they should belong here as my priority books. And to be honest, when I get to the end of this year, I am planning on actually just making little paper slots for every single book on my physical TBR, and then I'm just going to pull from that next year because I think I just like the idea of the randomness. So yeah, she is going to be picking from this month, which is very exciting. Slightly nerve-wracking because I know there are some chunkers in here that I'm a little afraid to get to. So on to the other books that I will be reading through July. It's Summerween. For anyone that doesn't know, this is a week-long readathon hosted by Gabby Reads, I believe. Channel down below in the description. And basically the idea is that for a week you will read books that are kind of horror focused, ideally with a summer twist, I think is the vibe. And there are prompts for this. I have 3 books here physically, and I have 1 more that I'll be reading by audio for this. So the first prompt is to read a book in the dark or at night. You can combine these prompts, so I will be combining that. I don't know which one of these I'll be starting at night, but it might actually be my audiobook, I'm not sure. But for the prompt, the second prompt, which is read a thriller or a horror, I am going to be reading 5 Survive. It's part of my Goodreads challenge thing that I'm doing, where I'm reading the 2023 awards. So I am going to be reading 5 Survive by Holly Jackson. For that, I've never read Holly Jackson before, so I'm very excited to try this out and see if I like it. And I just like the idea of throwing a thriller in there because they're quite quick reads, and this one sounds really fun. Basically, it is about a road trip with 5 friends. Their RV breaks down in the middle of nowhere. Someone is out there and someone wants one of them dead. With 8 hours until dawn, the 6 friends must escape or work out which one of them is the target. Buried secrets will be forced to light, and not everyone will survive the night. Sounds really fun. I love the idea of something that takes place in 24 hours and it being very quick. It just sounds like a horror movie basically, and I'm fully down for that. So I'll be reading that one for that prompt. For the prompt of read a book with a night sky on the cover, I am finally going to be reading You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight by Callan Bayron. This is set at this summer camp that kind of makes it out to kind of be a horror movie, so they reenact horror movie kind of things at summer camp, very Friday the 13th, that kind of thing. But from what I believe, our main character Charity plays the final girl in these reenactments, but from what I can tell, people really start disappearing. And it becomes into a real horror movie set at the summer camp. So this sounds like it's really fun. It's not that long either. It'll be quite a quick read, and I'm very excited to get to it. Then for the prompt of read a book with 5 or more words in the title, I'm actually going to be reading my audiobook for this. This is something that I am reading from the Goodreads Awards, so spoilers for that, I guess. I am reading Killing the Witches, The Horror of Salem, Massachusetts. So I'm actually reading a non-fiction, but it's a book I'm super interested in. And I kind of feel like it fits the vibe of horror kind of thing, even if it's real life horror, and it's about witches. So I'm just excited to read about witches and the original witch trials, because I've never actually read much about it, to be honest. So excited to be listening to that, should I say, because it's an audiobook. And then for the final prompt, it is read a book that takes place in the summer, and I'm going to be reading, finally as well, The Cabin at the End of the World by Paul Tremblay. I've wanted to read this for so long. I have seen the movie, which was okay, so I do know the story for this. I know the changes they made in the movie, but I'm still really excited to read this. I'm really excited to try Paul Tremblay for the first time, finally, because he's an author that I hear a lot about. So for anyone that doesn't know about this, so it's a family kind of thing, basically. So basically this 7-year-old girl called Ren, who is the adopted child of Eric and Andrew, are going away on a vacation in a remote cabin. A stranger unexpectedly appears in the driveway. Leonard is the largest man Ren has ever seen. I've been calling her Ren, which is the name of a character from a book I just finished, so sorry about that. Wen is her name. Leonard and Wen talk and play until Leonard abruptly apologizes and tells Wen none of what's going to happen is your fault. 3 more strangers arrive at the cabin carrying unidentifiable, menacing objects. As Wen sprints inside to warn her parents, Leonard calls out, "Your dads won't want to let us in, Wen, but they have to. We need your help to save the world." So yeah, I didn't love the movie, but I liked the concept of the movie a lot, and I did like some of the actors a lot. I thought who was playing Leonard was really good. And yeah, I'm excited to give this a shot. I'm pretty sure it is set in the summer. I had to look into this. Also, look at this very cool kind of beginning chapter here. But yeah, he's written a lot of things, so excited to be reading this finally. So those are my Summerween books. Now on to the other books that I will be reading. So I also have a couple of other books for the Goodreads challenge that I'll be reading. I have one of them here, not going to share what it is, but it is a YA. And I have one other non-fiction, I think, as well, that I'll be reading. Part of that, but I've actually got a little bit ahead of myself in June, so I've not got as much to read in July, although I may have some of the romantasy books crossing over that I might not have finished. We'll see, I guess. At the time of filming this, I have a week and a bit before the end of the month to try and finish those. I don't think I'm going to quite manage it, but I'm going to do my best. So in terms of other books that I'm going to be reading, I most likely will not have finished Assassin's Quest, which was supposed to have been read in June, but I am currently 114 pages in and with a week to go and other books to read. So I doubt I'll be finishing this in June, which means it will be passing over onto July. So yeah, I'll be carrying this on. I am thankfully past the part where I originally dropped it. So progress has been made with that at least, and it's okay. I'm not loving it, but I do want to finish it, so I will be trying to get to this in July. I'm also going to be reading another book for my Jacqueline Wilson video, and I'll be reading Bad Girls, which is an old favourite of mine. I don't like this new cover though, I have to say. I really prefer the old cover, mostly because it has the other girl in it who is her friend. I realise now, looking back at this, I'm damn, I had such a big lesbian crush on the other girl in this book back then. But yeah, basically this is about a shy girl who gets bullied a lot, and she ends up making friends with this teenager who's kind of a bad influence on her. And yeah, I really enjoyed it back then. I'm hoping I'll still really like it now on a reread. I have 2 arcs that I'll be hopefully reading in July because they both need to be read by August, so I will be prioritising those. I have The Pairing by Casey McQuiston, which is her latest book. I'm very excited to read that. And I also have a YA thriller horror book called Heads Will Roll. I don't know a whole lot about that, but it is one of the authors that's going to be at Yelp, and their book isn't actually out yet, so I was actually really excited to get accepted for an ARC for it. I'll give you a bit more information about that in my wrap-up most likely, but again, I don't want to go into that with too much information, but it sounds like it's going to be a good time. So those are the other books I want to read. The only other book I'll be reading will be for my book club book, and that is between 3 books. We haven't yet had the meeting, but obviously by the time I edit this we will have had it, so I will know which one it is. So I'll put here what it is I'm actually going to be reading. But the options for that is A Master of Gin, The Final Strife by Sarah El Arifi, and Evocation by Saint Gibson. I'm hoping it's going to be one of these 2 more so, just because I already have these. I'm really hoping for Evocation, not gonna lie, because I'm dying to read Evocation. That is all of the books that are my extra books I'm reading for July, so I'm going to pass over to me and my bestie while we finish my TBR off. Hello! Hi. So, this is my bestie Laura, and she is going to be picking the remainder of my TBR for July, and she has all of this to pick from. So and excited. Yeah, I'm just gonna set her loose basically, and
ha ha ha. Basically, I get to be. I could be evil, but I won't be.
Like you can be evil if you want to be. I don't mind. I have to read all these books at some point anyway.
That's true.
But there is 200 something physical books there, so yeah, that is what's happening. Okay, I'm recording. Go forth.
I'm very excited. You have so many more books than me, so...
There's so much So much to pick from. Yeah, there are books behind the books at the bottom. As you can see, I have now run out of space.
I won't do that.
So, well, there's got books behind them. I just have run out of space. I've had to pile in front now because, as you can see, I've also been having to put them at the top, and we're out of space there too.
You have so many good ones that I want to give you, but then you'll end up with like 20. I can't do that to you, so... Okay.
We'll at some point get you to do a full TBR when I actually don't have any other books, but right now I have too many books, so that's why you unfortunately have a limit of 3.
That's okay. I'll be back.
I'm probably gonna get Anna to do this as well at some point, just for fun.
That'd be really good. I think she'd like... Oh, there's so many that I want you to read. I think I have number 1.
Oh. I knew you were gonna pick that.
So we have When the Moon Hatched, because I want to read this, and normally if Kyla likes a book, I also like a book, so yeah.
I bought that and I put it on the shelf and I was like, I knew that Laura was gonna pick this. I'm actually quite happy about that. So I'm not mad because I also have you seen this? This is just a standard edition.
Oh wow!
This isn't the special edition because they were out of stock. It's still really pretty.
It's really nice. Like,
I was like, what the hell? I'm like, it's so nice even for the standard.
Oh, I love it.
So look at that.
Yeah, that's really pretty.
I was like, what the fuck? Because I didn't get the email for the Fairy Loot one, which is really, even though I'm on the wait list now, so I should be getting the emails, and they never sent it to me.
Well, at least you still got a really nice...
And then I was like, I'll try and get the Waterstone special edition, out of stock, obviously.
Yeah.
And then Jules was like, oh, but the standard edition's actually really nice. I was like, it is? And I got it, I was like, it fucking is. So I was like, I'm okay with just the standard. So, okay, we have our dragon romantasy to begin with. He is fire and brimstone. I am shattered ice. I'll gladly burn beneath him until the world comes crumbling down.
I want to try and give you a variety.
Ooh, okay. There is manga, but it's at the bottom and it's behind everything.
You probably won't get to that.
No. I like how you've gone right to the bottom instead of like further up.
Because like a lot of these it's because I think a lot of these I've seen myself before, whereas a lot of these titles down here I'm like, oh, what is
A lot of those are newer ones, I think, that have come from Chimera.
Gotcha.
So that's probably why. Yeah, When the Moon Hatched is like obviously a very new purchase. So
oh my god. I'm doing it to you.
yes, I was kind of expecting you to do this also.
We have Heaven Official's Blessing. Read this. It's so good. Kyla's finally gonna read it because we watched the
I will finally read it
together and it was beautiful.
Yes. I deliberately put the squirrel in front of it to see if you would move it. See. So yeah, finally I've watched the first season of this and of the anime and I love it. And yeah, I just needed a good excuse to pick this up, basically. Okay, so we've got 2. We've got 1 more.
I think I know what I'm going to do to you, so... I say that as if I'm doing something really
So we've got 2 fantasy so far. For this one, I was so amused if you picked all the ones I kind of thought you were going to pick for me.
We just know each other too well.
Oh, you're going in the direction I thought you were going in.
Okay, I really need someone else to read this.
Yes. I knew you were going to pick the invocations.
I finished this literally this week and I really loved it. And yeah, for Kyla. There you go.
There we go. Hey, it's Summerween as well. Oh wow, look how wrecked this thing is because the book is too small to fit the Evernight in. So yeah, we have is it the latest? No, it's not the latest Evernight because that was in Murder Road.
Yeah.
But funnily enough, I had this in my tag thing for like the most beautiful book.
It's so beautiful.
That I've got because I just love this. I still think of this as Riverdale, but it is Riverdale.
It is Riverdale. I mean, look at them.
Very much so. Okay, yeah. So these are the 3. I'm very excited to read all of these. Yay! So that just means that
oh my god, yay!
It's TBR jar time.
I'm very excited for this.
So yeah, you can give it a swish if you want, and pick out what the other book is that I'm reading. I live in fear of when I get Doctor Strange and Mr. Norrell. Not gonna lie, it's in there. I live in fear.
I'm so
Because it's so long. It's so big.
If I pick this for you, I'm just so sorry. This is so exciting. Okay.
This is why I like doing a TBR drag, because it was a mystery.
Please do not be. Oh, okay. It is from a Buick 8. So
Oh, Stephen King.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
I'm okay with that.
Phew, the pressure was on us.
It is a chunky Stephen King, but it's one that Emma recommended to me.
Okay.
And yeah, I just have not got around to it, basically. So even though I'm supposed to still be reading it, I'm like, guess I'm reading another Stephen King instead.
At least you know that Stephen King is very readable, so
He
you'll
is.
get through him.
Hey, that's 2 horrors and 2 fantasy.
Look at me not picking all fantasy for you, because I could have. But...
Impressive, yeah. Ah, well, thank you. That was really fun.
You're welcome. Thank you for
Let's
letting me
do that again sometime.
Maybe you can.
I will let you pick a whole TBR next time, like a whole, like, I'll let you pick like 10 books or something for a month.
Guys, I will be going in and being like, right, let's go.
Oh, well, thank you, Laura.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, always.
Bye-bye.
So, I guess this is the final TBR plus from a Buick 8, which I don't have a physical copy yet because I need to get it out from the library, but this is what I'll be reading in July, plus the arcs and possibly some others I've forgotten, I don't know, but yeah, pretty excited to read all of these. Very excited by other ones that my friend picked for me, and yeah, it's going to be a good reading month, I hope. So, until next time, stay safe, stay cozy, and I'll see you in the next video. There go the books. Goodbye!